Been another month, and this is my monthly GameStop dumpster dive finds video. This is for the month of September, everything I found during September. And again, not very much here, but we found some really good stuff. Last month, I didn't find very much either, and I was complaining, even though I did find a working 3DS. If you watched that video, you probably heard me complaining, about not finding much stuff, but I did find a working 3DS, and I bought. They tried to destroy it. They had cut the cover. This plastic cover here, they took a razor blade and basically cut it in half, but that was the only damage to the unit. And I just bought a new case for it, and it works fine. The only problem with it is it's a display model, and I found out that display models, Nintendo disables the battery, so it can't be portable, and they disable the home button. The home button's not a big deal, but the disabling the battery kind of sucks, because it means I basically have to be plugged in if I want to use it. But other than that, it works fine. So anyways, let's get back to what we found this month. And of course, people probably aren't going to believe me, but I found a PS4, I found a Xbox One, and I found a PS3. Now there is a story behind all these units, and I'll go over it as quickly as I can, so this video isn't too long. Well, let's start off here with, I found a couple more lanyards. I found just a plain red one, and I found another one of these Shadow of War lanyards. So that's cool. Those will go into my lanyard collection. Next up, we found the PS4 in the dumpster, and I was ecstatic. I was super happy. So I plug it in, and it turns on, and I got the blue light of death. And so I did some research, and I found out that there's a fix for that, and it involved adding a couple washers to the clamp that holds the CPU down, blah blah blah. So anyways, I took it apart. I added a couple washers to the clamp, and boom, it started up. I got the white light, which means everything was cool. It booted up nice, but I wasn't getting any picture. So I took it apart again, and I did some troubleshooting, and I found out that it was what's called the IC chip needed to be replaced in order to get a picture. So I replaced the IC chip. This costed me, see if we can get that to focus. That chip costed me like $8, and it's super tiny. Anyways, so I heated up the chip with a hot air gun, and I got the old chip off, no problem. I put the new chip on, and I again used the heat gun and got the new chip back on, no problem. But during the process, which I didn't realize, were right underneath that chip on the board, there's 4 tiny little black things. I don't know what the hell they are. They kind of look like possibly fuses or something to do with the video encoding or something. Anyways, so while I was doing this, apparently all 4 of those fell off. I only found 2 that fell off. They're super tiny, tiny. And I couldn't figure out, even if I had all 4 of them, I couldn't figure out how to get them back on. It's impossible. I don't know how to do it. So that was a fail. The PS4 It was close. I had it close to working. Needless to say, it does not work now. It could work if somebody who is better at soldering than I am could fix that. Anyways, moving on. Next, we found an Xbox One. Now, when I found this box was taped up, completely sealed. And if you look on the tag there, if it'll focus, it says shuts off after 20 minutes. And it says defective, return to warehouse. I'm assuming that's what that means. Anyways, this was much easier. So I took it apart and I stripped it down to the CPU, and when I took the CPU cooler off, I noticed all of the thermal paste was just all around the sides of the processor, and barely anything was actually on the processor or the heatsink. So it must have like oozed all out. I don't know what happened, but there's barely any thermal paste on the processor. So I simply cleaned it all up. I put some new Arctic Silver thermal paste on there, started it up. I played some Call of Duty Ghost, and played that for like an hour and a half straight, no problems. Then I started watching YouTube videos on it. Let YouTube videos play for another hour or so, no problem. The only other issue I saw with it was, so after I got that all cleared up, I noticed that the power button, this was even before I probably just broke it. This was even before I took it apart. I noticed that the power button didn't work. Like, I had to turn it on, I had to use either the controller, or if I pressed the eject button, it would turn on, but the power button wasn't working. So after fiddling around with that for a while, I figured out that it was simply where you connect it to the board, the ribbon to the board there, it was just dirty. I cleaned it up with some rubbing alcohol, put it back in, and everything works perfect now. The power button works great. The system doesn't overheat. So I got a complete working Xbox One. This is the second Xbox One that I found. The first one that I found worked flawless. There was absolutely nothing wrong with it, except for the fact that it was filled with a giant nest of roaches. So that Xbox is up in my bedroom now, but I had to literally take every single piece of that Xbox apart, wash it, clean it, and that's my main Xbox now. But it was roach infested, and thank God I caught the roach problem before they started infesting my home, because woo, that was a close call. Anyways, so Xbox One. But the surprising thing was that this also came with a working controller. No problem with the controller. It came with the power supply, so it's a complete Xbox One. I think I said 360 a minute ago, but whatever. A complete Xbox One. Everything's working flawless. So I'm happy with this. And what I'm probably going to do, since I already have an Xbox One, my son has an Xbox One, I think I'm going to box it back up in a different box, of course. Take it back to GameStop, and I'm going to use that towards a trade-in for a Nintendo Switch. Alright, next we have the PS3. Now, Well, let me go over this first. I found this controller not at the same time that I found the console, but I found a wireless controller with the little dongle thing, and the controller works fine. Alright, PS3. So, when I found this thing was destroyed. I mean, it was literally in pieces. The top piece was not on it. This silver piece here was broken in 4 spots. This part here I didn't actually find until days later because I had to really dig through the dumpster to find this missing part. So apparently, from what I can gather from this, is there was a disc stuck inside the disc tray, and somebody, whether it was a previous owner of this unit or GameStop, didn't know how to take apart a PS3 and basically just ripped everything, just ripped it off, and to try to get out the disc. And they never ended up getting out the discs. This disc was inside of it, and the next day I found the case. But so I got the disc out, and come to find out there was a little piece of plastic that was pushed up ever so slightly inside here that was keeping the disc from coming out. So I put it all back together. I had to do some JB weld on certain parts to keep it together, but it's back together. The unit functions perfectly. There's nothing wrong with it other than it's a little cosmetically ugly now. Like I said, this whole silver strip here was destroyed, and I used like JB weld and crazy glue and just to piece it all back together, and then I painted it. And when I put it back on after I painted it, you can still see like the cracks where I seamed it together. It was like re-cracking because the plastic is so thin, and the JB weld really, or the crazy glue, wasn't really holding it together. So I put on like this silver plasticky type stuff. I don't know what the hell they call it, but I don't know. It came out alright. It's a functioning unit. I'll probably end up just selling that on Craigslist for like $40 with a game or two, and use some of that money towards getting a Nintendo Switch. So Xbox One, sell the PS3. That should give me, I think GameStop will give me like $100 at least for the Xbox One. I'll get $40-50 for the PS3. I think I already have $150 saved for selling other junk systems that I found in the dumpster. So I should be able to get a Nintendo Switch for free. Alright, next up is all the games that I found. So you already saw the one PS3 game. I also found Call of Duty Black Ops. And this game was actually sitting outside of the dumpster, just laying on the ground. Excuse me. I found Disney Infinity 2.0 edition. The disc is literally like brand new. They've been throwing these out. I don't think they sell these anymore, or don't want to, but they just throw those out constantly. Here's a surprise find, a Nintendo DS game. Very rarely do I ever find Nintendo DS games, so when I do find them, it's pretty cool. It's never anything awesome. I never find an awesome Nintendo DS game, but jam sessions. It's cool. I'll take it. Next up, PS4 games, man. I noticed that Final Fantasy, A Realm Reborn, they throw this game out. This is like the third one of these that I found. I think because it's online only. That's probably why they chuck it. I don't know. Maybe it's not popular anymore. Next, NBA 2K15. They always be chucking these out. I don't know why. But anyways, it's complete. The disc is flawless. Next up, Watch Dogs 2. What? Let me show you. It's actually just the original Watch Dogs inside Watch Dogs 2 case. I don't know why, but the disc is in excellent condition. So that was a slight little, if you see that right there, slight little, I wouldn't even call that a scratch, but a little scuff on there. But I popped it in my PS4, loaded up no problem. I could probably buff that out with my buffer, but I mean the disc worked, so I won't fuck with it. And then we found Skylanders Trip Team. They always throw out Skylanders games too. And next we found an Xbox One game. I don't remember what the hell it is, but it was a good game, I think. Let me see. What the hell was it? Oh, Destiny. They've been throwing out Destinies quite a bit too. So far I found, for PS4, I found like 4 Destinies so far. And this is the first one I found for Xbox One, but I didn't have it. So, add that to the collection. Next up, GameCube, FIFA Street. Always happy to find a GameCube game that I do not have, and this one was in great shape. Even though it's a sports game, I'll take it. Add that to the collection. And finally, game-wise, we found a few 360 games. We got Batman, the video game, Lego Batman, the video game, Assassin's Creed Revelations, Final Fantasy 11 Online, and Connect Adventures. That's it for the games. Here's some promo items I found. So, like can cozies for the Giants, and they got Darth Vader on one side and this on the other side. So there was literally probably like 50 of these things, so I just grabbed enough for like a 6-pack. So there was the Giants, and then the Jets, same thing. You got Darth Vader, and you got that on the other side. So I just grabbed 6 of those. I left the rest there. Next, a Wii U controller condom. Next, we found a white Wii U box. This is a box only. The system is not in there. But the white system itself is pretty hard to come by, and it's even harder to come by the box. So I guarantee you, for collectors, this box will sell for $50 eventually. Just a box. So, and knowing me, I'll probably never sell the box, because I'll end up getting a white Wii U for myself and for my collection, and I will already have a box for it. And then we just found some random cables, cord there, HDMI cable. This was cool. I found this little Donkey Kong pin that looks like a Nintendo cartridge. we go. And I found 2 GameCube memory cards. Alright, camera pooped out on me. Anyways, left off here. We found a PS Vita case. Pretty nice case. Really sturdy. Let's see if I can open it up here with one hand. There we go. Vita goes in there. Got this nice little cover to protect the screen and a couple slots for some games and stuff. Pretty cool. We found a Nintendo 2DS case. Pretty neat. And I found a bunch of these. I found about 50 of these. These are Pokemon codes. You can get this little dude here. You scratch that off, get the code. Anyways, I put up a video with about 40 codes in the video. I still think there's some codes left. I don't know, but if somebody really wants one bad enough, I still have, I think, 10 more codes left. Let me know and I'll give you one. And next up, I found this Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus display. It hasn't been put together, obviously. I don't know why I grabbed this stuff. I gotta stop. I'm literally I'm out of room. I just can't. I gotta stop grabbing stuff like this, but I can't help it. And then finally, Xbox 360. There's not a system inside this box, but I do have plenty of 360 systems. But I did find inside this box a controller. Controller works. It's just a little ugly. The only problem with this was... What was the problem with this? Oh. The battery compartment. I don't know if you can see that there, but it doesn't really hold the batteries in well. So that's why they threw it out. But other than that, the controller works perfect. We found another Connect Adventures game, and I don't want to take it out, but I'm pretty sure you can see the Connect itself is in there as well. So I actually have a extra Xbox 360 that I can put in this box, and that will be a another complete system that I could sell. I'll throw a couple games with it. I'll get it $50 for that. I like to move my merchandise quick, so I mean, I'm getting this shit out of the dumpsters, and I'm not selling broken stuff. I'm selling shit that works. So, but I like to move it quick, and I'm not, you know, I see on Craigslist a lot of the times people be trying to get $100, $150 for Xbox 360, and they sit on Craigslist forever. I put them up for, I put an Xbox 360 up for $50. Boom, it's gone in a day or two. So that's it. Those are my finds for the month. Not too bad. I'm pretty happy with the Xbox One score, PS3, and bummed out about the PS4, but maybe next time. That's the first PS4 I've ever found. Damn, I was close to getting it working, but maybe next time. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next month with another monthly dumpster dive video, and hopefully I have some, hopefully I find some shit. Alright, take care. Bye.